Lost media. Something is such an interesting topic and touches on almost any genre you could possibly imagine. We've covered it here looking at lost automotive media, but today we're looking at lost Iron Maiden media. Now, for having a career that so far lasted 50 years, they have a very, very well documented history. But even still, with Iron Maiden, there's a couple things that are lost media. And today, that's exactly what we're going to look into. So we're not going to dawdle, let's get right into it. 1984, Iron Maiden just started their World Slavery Tour in support of the Power Slave album. One big deal for this tour is Iron Maiden was starting the tour in Poland in 1984, which made them the first ever international touring band to play Poland whilst they're still behind the Iron Curtain. They played about 5 shows, a few of them are pretty well documented, except for the first 2. Now, the first 2 shows, not really that much documentation of what happened, but one of the big things on there is they played Back in the Village. Over the course of the World Slavery Tour, Iron Maiden played Aces High, 2 Minutes to Midnight, Lost for Words, Power Slave, Rhyme Nature Mariner, and Back in the Village. And Back in the Village isn't just the one that didn't get any professional recording, but it's the one that had no recording at all for almost 40 years. People knew it got played, it was documented to have been played, but there was nothing on it. Until recently. It's fairly recently someone's come forward with a little bit of audio that proves that Iron Maiden indeed played it. And it's this. Yeah, that's it. I did not cut the video short, that's all. The person who did this went to go actually record them playing whatever the next song was going to be, because this is way before going on the internet looking up set lists or going on the internet. So really, you're just pulling out your recorder and hoping for the best. And they started playing Back in the Village the moment they start recording, and the recorder stopped working like 3 seconds in, as you heard. So for a long time, this was indeed lost media, but now it's technically found, although all it's been found is about 5 seconds. 1999. 1999 was always looked at as the reunion of Iron Maiden. Not that they ever broke up, but Blaze Bayley was out, Bruce Dickinson was back in, along with Adrian Smith, making the Magnificent Six lineup and going out on the Ed Hunter tour. The first time Iron Maiden wasn't touring on a new studio album, but touring on a video game. The Ed Hunter tour ended up being such a cool tour to go look through, because it was the first time Maiden brought back songs like Stranger's Strangeland, Aces High, Power Slave, Run to the Hills, which wasn't played for the past couple tours. But in addition to that, still playing songs like The Klansman, Man of the Edge, and Future Real. This is generally a very cool tour. But one of the things they brought back was Dave Murray playing the Number of the Beast solo on Bruce Dickinson's shoulders, just like he used to do in the 1980s. But when they were doing this in California, during the solo, Dave actually fell off Bruce's shoulders, hit the ground pretty hard, broke a finger, and then proceeded to finish the set by playing Number of the Beast, How They Name, and Run to the Hills. It wasn't until they actually got off stage where Dave said, "I broke my finger." He was rushed to the hospital, they got it dealt with, but they had to cancel the next 2 shows because Dave couldn't play until they got to El Paso, Texas. Now, what's interesting about this show is Dave Murray said he could play, but he could only play rhythm. He couldn't play any solos. So those 2 days they had off, Yannick and Adrian had to go learn all of Dave's solos. Now, there were some solos that they were doubling up, like Future Real, so Yannick could just go hammer that out very easily since he was already playing it. Adrian would have had to go learn Dave's solos in Phantom of the Opera and Power Slave, just name some, along with songs like The Klansman and Man of the Edge, which he's never played before. Same with Fear the Dark. And the 2 of them had to figure this out in like 3 days. Why that's interesting is it's the only show of the entire Ed Hunter tour that has no photos, it has no videos, it has no audio. There's a few shows where Adrian Smith had to bail out of the tour due to his father passed away and he had to go to the funeral. Maiden did keep touring, so you can find audio or video of Yannick doing the solos in Power Slave and Aces High. Like, he figured all that out. But you can go find those. You can find nothing of this show in El Paso, Texas, which is truly a shame because I think it would have been the most interesting show to listen to just to see how they did it. But alas, there's nothing. Recordings for A Matter of Life and Death. So presumably in late 2005, early 2006, Iron Maiden hit the studio to go record A Matter of Life and Death. They released a video on it, kind of looking at the last 2 songs, the recording process, and the whole band talking about it. But at the end of the video, they start talking about covers they're going to do for the album. And they mentioned a couple of them. One of them being Space Truckin' by Deep Purple, another one being Hocus Pocus by Focus, and another one being Tush. Now, we've all seen the video of Iron Maiden jamming Tush.
I get up, I get down, turn my world
to the interesting one, because you can go find the covers of Hocus Pocus and Space Truck, and those are not hard to find. The Tush cover can't be found. This is something that Iron Maiden went to the studio, recorded, and then never released. Why was it released? Who knows? But somewhere deep in the Iron Maiden vaults, there's a cover of Tush, The Number of the Beast. When Iron Maiden was recording Number of the Beast, two of the songs they got on it was Gangland and Total Eclipse, which has made this awesome back and forth on which one do you love more. Whilst they're recording Total Eclipse, they're going over the final takes of it, and Dave Murray's solo wasn't in it. What's funny about this is Dave Murray didn't actually notice his solo was missing from it until someone told him. I believe the reasoning was they removed Dave Murray's solo because it just seemed like one extra thing that didn't really need to be there, and sent it out. And as someone who's a guitarist for a long time, I'm actually completely fine with that. I'm not a minimalist, but sometimes less is more. Sometimes just having a cool riff is good. But much like Tush, somewhere deep in the Iron Maiden vaults, there's a version of Gangland with Dave Murray's solo on it that we have never actually seen. What's funny about that is they actually remastered the album in 1998 and 2015 and then never added it back on. So who knows? 2011. In 2011, Iron Maiden was on the second leg of the Final Frontier tour, the Around the World in 66 Days tour, and they're filming through the whole course of the tour for the En Vivo movie. But around the end of the tour, they were actually talking about doing a live recorded show in one or two countries, Argentina or Chile. Now, ultimately, they went with Chile, and that's what we got. It made for an awesome live album.
Somebody who'll remain nameless decided to film a new DVD in Santiago and Buenos Aires.
We did Rock in Rio, but it just seemed the turn to go further south. It's a long way to go down to Buenos Aires and Santiago.
Iron Maiden would have actually went and recorded the entire show they did in Argentina on the same tour, meaning somewhere in the vaults there's a full live recorded show of the Final Frontier tour in Argentina. Will they ever release it? Probably not, because they really don't need to. As cool as it would actually be to see, they have released the exact same show from literally like 2 days after, so they don't need to release it. I know there is a lot of like professionally recorded things that just haven't seen the light of day, but I bring this one up because it was recorded by Iron Maiden. Not something that really needs to be released, but cool nonetheless. 1998. During the Virtual 11 tour in 1998, Iron Maiden was starting to think of the next album. And when they were doing this, they did actually start working on demos for what would be the Brave New World album with Bayley. Now, three of the songs that were discussed as some of the earlier songs that were demoed for that album was The Mercenary, Blood Brothers, and Dreams and Mirrors. But it was always said that Bayley actually did some vocal demos of Blood Brothers way before the album ever came out. But these were never actually released, which is a bit of a shame because in 2002, Iron Maiden actually released the Best of B-Side album, and this would have been such an interesting thing to kind of slide on there. This is not just a demo of Aces High, and the recording's a little bit rough because it is a demo, and we've all heard Aces High a million times. Hearing Blaze do Blood Brothers with Iron Maiden would have actually been such an interesting thing to see, because it would have been the really early takes of a song that became just so loved by the fans. So seeing it in its absolute most raw form, again with Blaze on vocals, would have been super cool to hear. We may have not got that, but we did get to hear Bayley do Blood Brothers eventually.
We're blood brothers. We're blood brothers.
So that is 6 chunks of Iron Maiden Lost Media. And as always, I want to know, what do you think? Was there anything on this list that surprised you? Is there anything you didn't know existed? And would you like to see more Lost Media in the form of metal? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, subscribe to what have you seen. I tend to post a couple times a week, and I'll see you later.